and gentlemen, and Happy New Year. I'm John Gray, and we're just plain living here, and it's what, New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve.
It's New Year's Eve. It's hard to believe. Another New Year's Eve.
Another New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Peggy and Jimmy, Happy New Year to both of you.
And Happy New Year to you.
Yeah.
You know, we've as you look back
And my nose is itching.
on the type of people that we are, all of us in some form or another been in the entertainment business for years and years and years.
Yes, we have.
New Year's Eve means a lot of time you're going to work.
Exactly.
Like everybody else is
Oh,
going
yeah.
out to party and you're going to work.
Yeah, since I've retired from the bar business and restaurant business, I have stayed home on New Year's Eve, and I love it.
You watch the big ball
Yeah,
drop in
right.
several different cities.
Right.
if you're-
Because that was
yeah.
that was a long day, as John well remembers, and if you're in that kind of business,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, and particularly if you're, and Peggy as well, being in the entertainment business, it's not just a long day, it's a long month.
Yeah. Oh,
And it
yeah.
usually
Because
starts
you're
after Thanksgiving, the
practicing,
weekend after
yeah.
Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
because all of these corporations and people are having their Christmas parties, they're booking Christmas parties. If you're in the, like when the American Legion was open and Jimmy was running the American Legion, he and Nancy, and I was running the bar,
You didn't have a
all
minute.
month long. You're every
yeah.
day.
You're on the run, that's
Somebody's
Every
having
day's
a party.
Yeah. Every day's a party.
This is the first year in a long time we don't have a job tonight, so I'm just
Well, good for
going
you.
to I'm just going to enjoy New Year's Eve. There's stuff going on in a lot of places.
Sure.
Chevrolet's having a New Year's Eve party. South Jackson Civic Center is having a party, and I think Winchester's. There's parties everywhere.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Get
So-
out there and have a good time.
And I think at South Jackson they're having Las Vegas night again.
They are having
believe.
they're a Roaring 20s.
Right.
And they are doing casino and,
stuff.
They're bringing in Jake Leg Stompers.
Jake Leg Stompers
out of
will be there
Murfreesboro.
tonight. I love those guys.
I love the name.
I do
What
too.
Are they dancers or something?
No, they're a jug band.
They're a
Oh, I
jug
see, okay.
band that kind of plays back in the
20s.
20s
Yeah.
and of last century, and they
Yeah,
they're
not
just having
20s.
they have a
this
lot of fun.
year.
Yeah, they have a lot of fun. And so the whole idea was to tie the 20s,
Right to the
1920 to 2020.
Right.
So it should be fun.
a lot of great things going
Well,
on.
this is going to be a new experience for you to be
Yeah.
home on New Year's Eve.
I might get to enjoy
Are you
it.
gonna stay at home? Or are you gonna
I
go
can't,
somewhere?
I'm not telling anybody what I'm going to do. It's a big secret.
Good for you.
There's too many choices.
John and I have wondered for many, many years about Peggy's private life, but she ain't giving up.
She ain't
no
telling.
She ain't telling. She no details.
Ralph wouldn't even tell.
Right.
Oh no, he knew better. He loved a good time, though.
Oh,
I gotta
Ralph
tell
loved
you.
it.
He
Ralph was
loved
a
good time.
great guy, and you know what kind of a guy. Great support for Peggy and what she did. He was always right there with her, filling all the needs that needed filled, I guess.
Yeah.
He was,
Like
you know.
we guys do, you know.
There's so many things about Ralph that I laugh out loud about, and I just all of a sudden think of something he said and it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's
well
a good thing.
we're getting the indication here that we need to explain to you what's getting ready to happen.
Oh yeah, that is kind of important. Otherwise, it might be confusing to people.
Well, I think for the rest of this show, what we're going to do is we're going to look back
Over the years.
through the year and through this year and pick out. Philip has picked out. Philip Scoggins, our producer, has picked out some of the coolest, funniest, neatest, craziest, most insightful things that we did over the last 12 months, and we'll fill up a show full of it for you to look back over 2019
Yeah.
And
with
this,
us.
That's
This is
right.
probably our last day with our Christmas
I
decorations.
know.
How
I
long
don't
are we-
know. You know how I am. I might leave them. See, I believe in the 12 days of Christmas, and that starts after Christmas. That's not
Okay.
before Christmas.
It's after. You're right.
That's
It's after.
until what, Epiphany? There's some Fran will know, but
Fran knows them.
Fran
things.
knows them terms, those
Yeah, right.
terms like
That's
that.
right.
So, but Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. Check out the 2019 fully loaded V6 Kia Sorento, up to $6,400 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her, and now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
Your word is like a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. As we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, follow his path of love, forgiveness, obedience, and prayer. To all of you we wish Merry Christmas!
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
This past weekend, some good stuff was the first ceremony for the Sports Hall of Fame Tullahoma Sports Council had here in Tullahoma.
That was nice.
And we filmed all of that. We'll be feeding that to you in the news and over the next couple of weeks on this show. But a couple of the people that were inducted were Antonio London and Jamil Northcutt, and we're going to bring you video of that right now, and we'll see you next time.
Our next inductee into the Tullahoma Sports Hall of Fame, sponsored by Flexa Fitness, is Mr. Antonio Monte Stick London. In 1989, graduated attended Tullahoma in 1989. Antonio lettered in basketball, baseball, football, and track at Tullahoma High School. In 1987, he was the state champion in the high jump and the #1 football recruit in the state of Tennessee when he graduated from Tullahoma High School. In 1992, he won a national championship at the University of Alabama, which was noted for its strong defense. Alabama led the nation in fewest points allowed during the regular season in 1992 and prevented #1 ranked Miami from scoring an offensive touchdown in the Sugar Bowl for the national championship. Notable teammates on that national championship team of Antonio's was Dabo Swinney, the head coach of the national champion Clemson Tigers. The head coach of that Alabama team was Gene Stallings. Antonio was drafted in 1993 by the Detroit Lions in the 3rd round, the 62nd overall pick. He played for Detroit at linebacker from 1993 to 97. In 98, Antonio played for the Green Bay Packers. His career stats include 76 games played, 13 sacks, 78 solo tackles, and 7 forced fumbles. After retiring from the NFL, Antonio opened a facilities management company in Pelham, Alabama. He coaches football at Pelham High School and hosts free football camps. Accepted on behalf of Antonio is Mario Braston. Well, let's hear it for Antonio London. Our next inductee into the Tullahoma Sports Hall of Fame is sponsored by the Surgical Group of Tullahoma. A football inductee, Dr. Jamil Northcutt. Jamil attended Tullahoma from 1996 to 99. He was a linebacker, tight end, and fullback, and a two-time All-State selection. In 98, he was the American General Mr. Football Lineman of the Year in Class 4A, the Tennessean Defensive Player of the Year, and a member of the Tennessean Dream Team. In his junior and senior years combined, Jamil had almost 350 tackles, 18 quarterback sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, 4 caused fumbles, and 2 pass interceptions. He lettered in football, basketball, and track at THS. Jamil attended Ole Miss from 2000 to 2003, where he played linebacker for the Rebels. In 2003, he was awarded the Chucky Mullins Courage Award, and he wore that prestigious number 38 jersey. Jamil was selected to the American Football Coaches Association and the SEC Good Works team in 2003. His Rebel teams made 3 bowl appearances and won the Cotton Bowl in his senior year. He played in every game his final 2 years and made the Southeastern Conference Academic Honor Roll all 4 years. Dr. Northcutt has held numerous roles in professional and college athletics. He was an intern with the SEC, player development coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, assistant athletic director for internal operations at Ole Miss, director of player engagement for the Cleveland Browns, director of football administration for the NFL, assistant director of enforcement and football development for the NCAA, and Jamil is currently the vice president of player engagement with Major League Soccer. Our current inductee to the Tullahoma Sports Hall of Fame, Dr. Jamil Northcutt.
Family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us on the set now Curtis Heiss, who has done something extremely interesting, I think, and I'm sure you will as well. Ran across it on the internet by mistake just one day, and I am so glad that you've been able to come here today and kind of tell us what you're doing, because it's such an interesting subject, and I can't take credit for finding Curtis. Peggy Burton actually found Curtis and got him on the show. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Sure. So I'm organizing, and it's an ongoing project. We're cleaning up the Deckard family cemetery. It's located in Winchester, Tennessee. The Deckard family are very significant to the Franklin County history. They came here in the 1830s from Virginia, and so Franklin County was just established in 1807, so Franklin County was still very young. They were among some of the very earliest settlers here, and they had a plantation down there, and then of course the city of Deckard is named for one of the sons, Peter Deckard. He kind of facilitated the railroad coming through that area, the Nashville-Chattanooga Railroad. They put a depot there on his plantation, and so that sprang up to what is now the city of Deckard. And so Peter Deckard actually left this area in the 1850s to move out west, and that's where he died. But his family remained here in this area, his parents, his siblings, and some of their children, and they're buried in that cemetery there in Winchester. And it's been neglected and grown up. It looks really like you're in the middle of the woods. This cemetery is located in a subdivision with a lot of houses, but it's just about a quarter-acre lot that's just overgrown with woods and vegetation. So my brother-in-law and his wife had recently bought a house there in that subdivision. They discovered there were these old headstones there from the 1800s, and they told me, and I'm a big history nerd, and so I took an interest in it and started researching and found out who was buried there, and I teamed up with the Deckard Historical and Preservation Society, and we decided, well, hey, let's clean this thing up and make it accessible for the public to come and walk among these headstones and read them and learn about these people and their local history.
So to start off with, you didn't know anything about the Deckard
I did not.
cemetery.
I really didn't. When I went into the cemetery and I started noticing a lot of the last names were Deckard, that was interesting to me because I've lived in Franklin County all of my life, and I didn't know anyone with the last name Deckard. I knew about the city of Deckard, but I didn't know anyone with that last name, and I thought, well, there's got to be some kind of connection. So after doing some research, I found out there was, in fact, a connection, and these were the very people for whom the city of Deckard got its name. Yeah.
So you, in the process of going through all this, you've actually done research on the individual headstones, and obviously, and found out something about the people.
Right. Yeah. And Michael Gillespie is one of the guys I've been working with. He's one of the co-founders of the Deckard Historical and Preservation Society. He's probably got a lot more knowledge on it than I do myself. I just have a background in history. I got my bachelor's degree in history from MTSU, and when I saw this project, I just started digging into it, and he really had a lot more knowledge in the Deckard family itself and the history of Deckard. So he and I have worked closely together on this project, and he's been kind of filling me in on some of the missing pieces that I had on what little bit of research that I did on it.
Obviously, if the cemetery fell into disarray, there's no relatives of the Deckard family that still live there.
Right. I did some research to try to find some of them. There are none in this area that I found. I did find one of the descendants, and I did email him. He and I talked a little bit through email, and come to find out he is one of the direct descendants of this family, and so he was very excited about it. I think he lives in Florida, and so he hasn't been up here to see it yet, but I'm hoping once we get the cemetery all cleaned up where it is accessible to the public, that maybe he and his family can come see it and reconnect with their own family history.
When I first saw the video on Facebook, I think it was, it appeared to be in major disarray, so it's been neglected for an awful long time.
Very long time, yeah. I want to say that subdivision has been there about 20 years or so. And whoever had developed the subdivision did put a fence around it, so they did take enough care to do that. But then as far as inside that fence, it was just left to grow up. And it's so thick in there that you can't really even walk through it in some places without ducking and weaving through all the vines and briars and everything. So we're trying to remedy all of that.
How many people are buried there, do you?
We, so far, have counted about maybe 13 headstones.
Right.
Yeah, and some of them are very young children, only about a year or two old. course, back in that day, that was pretty common.
Yeah,
so we did have one cleanup event back in January on the 12th, and we got a lot done on that day. And we have another one coming up March the 16th. That's our next big one. We hope the weather cooperates with us. We did get a lot done on January the 12th, but there's still a lot left to do. We're kind of doing it in phases. What we want to do, as you can see there from the pictures, it was very overgrown. That's before we started, of course. We got about half of it cleared up as far as the small underbrush on January the 12th, and we hope to get the other half cleaned up on. There's how thick it is. You can see, you can barely walk through it. But on March the 16th, we hope to get the rest of that cleared up, and then we'll have to assess whether or not we want to take down some of the larger trees that are in there. There are some very tall, mature trees inside there. We may have to take some of those down. There's one of the headstones there.
And you mentioned the headstones are kind of a little bit.
Some of them are broken,
deteriorating.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I've been also communicating with the MTSU Center for Historic Preservation, as I have some ties there at MTSU, so I've reached out to them. There's the day that we, back in January 12th, all the crews.
So
that we
you
had
had a pretty good turnout.
We did. We had a
that.
great turnout. Yeah. And we got a lot done. But no, the MTSU Center for Historic Preservation has been really instrumental in giving us a lot of advice on do's and don'ts. And once we get everything cleared out, then we'll start taking a closer look at the headstones and what we can do to preserve them, or whether we should or not. It may be best just to leave them as they are, but if there is some way that we can clean them up and preserve them without damaging them, then we do want to do that.
So you really learned a lot from that.
I've learned an awful lot, yes, sir.
And I would guess that in that day, the Deckard family were fairly prominent people in this area. Would you?
From what I understand, there were two plantations. So they had two plantations in the Franklin County area. So they must have been pretty prominent. There was one there in the vicinity where the cemetery is located, which is on the south side of Winchester, just past the hat factory in that area. It's in the Magnolia Estates subdivision. And then Peter Deckard, from what I understand, had his own plantation, which is in what is now the city of Deckard.
I see.
So they must have been doing okay.
In that era, it would have been fairly common, I would guess, to have your family people buried on your property, would it not?
Right, yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
And so I think that's what happened is and of course some of this is speculation, but when Peter left and the rest of his family stayed, they just stayed right in that area, and those who died, they just buried them right there on the plantation. And then evidently some of the other family members did leave, and that left none of them in this vicinity.
I see. And I assume the residents of this subdivision knew of this, right?
Well, from what I understand, some of the kids would go in there and play. It was their little fort or their little hideaway, because it was very secluded, and they would go in there and play. We found a lot of trash and toys and things like that in there. But some of the residents have come out and talked to us, and they did know there was a cemetery there, but nobody knows really how to get started with cleaning up a cemetery. You know, you've got to find the landowners, and you've got to find the family members, and you know, you can't just walk onto someone's property you don't know whose it is and just start, you know, cutting down trees and stuff. So there's a lot goes into it, and we've done that work.
Who owns that property now?
Mr. Grider, I believe it's Larry Grider who owns it.
I see.
And I did talk to him, and he thought it was a great idea, that it needed to be done, and he gave us his blessing.
Oh, super. Okay. So you've created a little job for yourself here for over the next several months.
It is a big task, but I think it's a worthy task, and I hope my vision for the cemetery is that one day it'll be cleaned up to a state where people can go in and walk among the headstones and read them and reconnect with their local history. Maybe teachers can take their students there, teach them about some of the local history from Franklin County.
If somebody wanted to help you with this, either through financial donations or manpower, how do they reach you?
Well, so there is a phone number that is set up. It's 931-389-1890.
Okay.
That's for information just on this cemetery cleanup. There's also the Deckard Historical and Preservation Society Facebook page. You can contact us there for information or donations toward the cemetery. If you know me, Curtis Heiss, you can find me on Facebook and reach out to me directly if you'd like. That's fine. Or Michael Gillespie. He's also the other member of the Deckard Historical and Preservation Society that's been helping me out with this tremendously.
I think I forgot to ask you, what era was that cemetery? I mean,
these headstones are all from 1800 to the 1850s. So
I
this
see.
is pre-Civil War.
Yeah.
This is pre-American Civil War.
Unbelievable. Curtis, thank you so much for coming by
My
and
pleasure,
sharing
Jim.
that
Thank
with
you
us.
for having
Really.
me.
All right. Folks, we'll be right back with more living right after this.
Clayton has been Tullahoma's family shoe store for over 100 years with a reputation for fashion and personal service. And the tradition continues today. Stop by Clayton and see our large selection of fine shoes.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron. And chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory. And marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game.
The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Rickman. And this is Pat Welch. And, John, we're here for segment 76.
76.
The conversation. 76 Pickup Sticks.
We were on the Ralph Emery Show, and one way I guess we solidified ourselves with the show.
I don't want you to be too humble. It wasn't one appearance. It was several times.
Oh, yeah. For about 11 years, we were there as semi-regulars. He asked us to be regulars one time, but we told him we had families and jobs, and we couldn't do that.
We had a school system to back up.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
That's right. I want to keep my job and educate kids and stay around and pal with you guys
That's
over
right.
here.
That's right. We can't all be hobnobbing off in Davidson County.
I'd seen too many failures in Nashville. I wrote some songs for the Ralph Emery Show, and I believe
you
that's
didn't
the
want
way
your demise to be like Hank Williams. That's good, John.
I believe that the reason we stayed with the show so long is we flattered them, you might say, by singing songs about the show.
Yeah.
And this is a little song I wrote called Oh, I wonder, I'd really like to know about my morning heroes on the Ralph Emery Show. Oh, I wonder if Ralph Emery ever gets 8 hours sleep. I wonder if Sonny Burnett ever gets up from his seat. And why does Spider Wilson always wear that sheepish grin? Tell me, is Norm Ray crazy, or is he 3 sheets in the wind? Oh, I wonder why we never see Fred Frederick on TV. Oh, wonder if Jerry Arnold's a master teacher level 3. And I wonder if Alan Williams and Tommy Lewis might be kin. Billy's proud of Madison, but is Madison proud of him? Oh, I wonder, I'd really like to know about my morning heroes on the Ralph Emery Show. Oh, I wonder why Jerry Whitehurst and Keith Bilbrey fuss and fume. And why do women smile when Tom Grant just walks into a room? And I wonder why Jerry Whitehurst wears a cap to hide his hair. Reckon he wears a cap, but because there's nothing under there. Oh, I wonder if Maud and Dorothy ever double date. How did Killer and Lightning ever get those kind of names? And when Kenny Starr and Darlene or Laurie sing those sexy lullabies, do I detect a speck of lust in Kenny's eye. Oh, I wonder, I'd really like to know about my morning heroes on the Ralph Emery Show. And I wonder most of all how we got on the show. Proof it's not how good you are, it's all in who you know. Oh, I wonder, I'd really like to know about my morning heroes on the Ralph Emery Show. Oh, me, what a song.
John, that was awesome. I'm telling you what, you left no bases unturned. Everybody that could ever been anybody on that show.
Well, you know, the commercial people who
was
did
a janitor
commercials,
in that list.
The fellas who did the commercials, you know, for the different places that advertised through them, they were as important to the show.
Oh, yeah.
They'd come in there, don't moan, don't groan, come on out to Sloan's, Yamaha and Murfreesboro, and then you had people selling siding. Earl Cullum was one of their guys on the show, and he was mischievous. Hey, and then that was from Carthage and Lafayette.
McCall.
Yeah. The good people. But we were pretty tied in with the show, which it flattered us to be that way. We were asked to go to D.T. McCall's and perform a little bit. We went to Ralph Emery Day over McEwen, Tennessee. We palled around with all of them, had a good time, but we never let it go to our heads. We stayed humble, you might say. But this is the little song that Philip, the little segment that Philip's going to show from the Ralph Emery Show. It's a segment with us doing a song about, hey, Ralph, when are you going to let us back there on the show? And Philip, go ahead and run this.
I'm excited, John.
I'm delighted. I'm privileged this morning to bring you live and direct from Chapel Hill, Tennessee, us two and him. Hey! Thank you. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, sure.
Since all the talk today is about the big sponsors outhouse race, which is going to be tomorrow at the Fairground Speedway, to which you are all invited to come out and watch the blood, guts, and gore. Don't you guys, if I remember correctly, you guys have an outhouse race song, don't you?
Yeah, we were talking about that a while ago.
You want to sing it?
John will have to think on the words. See,
yeah, there are a lot of them.
There's a lot of words in it, so he may come up with that, and none of them rhyme. I don't know why he wrote it in the first place, but it's a good song.
Oh, you're not going to sing it now?
No.
Okay, what are you going to sing?
We've got a little song. If you will, just stand right there, and Jimmy, you might want to come over, but Johnny will do a little choreography here, and
wait a minute, what is this?
We hadn't been on the show in some time, and we wrote a little special little ditty. Okay, so
is this a protest song?
Huh?
Is this a protest song?
We hope you've got a sense of humor, Ralph. We were still nervous and excited the day we were invited to the Ralph Emery Show. Yes, it seemed like just yesterday we wrote that song. Actually, it was a couple of years ago, and time passes and you sit by the telephone waiting for it to call to get to do a repeat. We knew it was going to be winter when we got to come back because they said it would be a cold day when they called. Hey, Ralph, when you going to let us back there on your show? It's been 2 long years and we think you ought to let us know. Well, we've mowed your grass and we've trimmed your hedge, and last winter we shoveled your snow. So, Ralph, when you gonna let us back there on your show? Say, Ralph, what? You said one time that we'd have to pay our dues, but we didn't know that was ironing your shirts and polishing your shoes. Now we've scratched your back, so we want you to scratch ours, or just say the word and we'll go. So, Ralph, when you gonna let us back there on the show? Come on, Ralph, we're as good as we're get. We'll do better this time. You ain't heard nothing yet. We got our Stellas tuned up, and we sound just like the Statlers. Except for that chubby guy who sings real low. So, Ralph, when you gonna let us back there on the show? Say, Ralph. What? We ain't pretty like Lori Morgan or Miss Darlene. True, that's true. That's true. But we take a lot of pride in keeping your carpets clean. Now, we don't mind so much just being your slaves, but we're afraid you might be leading us on. So, Ralph, when you gonna let us back there on the show? Come on, Ralph, we're as good as we're gonna get. We'll do better this time, you ain't heard nothing yet. We got our Stellars tuned up, and we sound just like the Statlers, except for that chubby guy who sings real low. So, Ralph, when you gonna let us back there on the show? Ralph, when you gonna let us back there on the show? Oh, God, he's smiling.
Well, it worked.
Yeah,
It worked.
real good today.
Yes, it worked. It worked. You did it, and you're back.
Yeah, we're excited.
That's cute. I
That's
love
the first
that.
time we've heard that song, too. Yeah, we're really excited.
Friend,
We really hadn't
you write
tried it
that
in a
on your way up I-65 this morning? All right.
If the traffic had been worse, we'd got another verse.
John, that was magnificent.
Oh, that's
that was magnificent.
Now the words we hadn't gone over that hardly at all, and the words were on cardboard pieces out in front of us, you know, and so Phil was reading the words off of the cardboard. We're about through with this segment, but Ralph wrote us a nice letter one time when we had our 45th anniversary of us two and him. He wrote us this letter sent by Keith Bilbrey to us. You always delivered outstanding entertainment, and to think that you're remembering 40 years, that was our 40th year, making people happy, clapping their hands, stomping their feet while throwing laughs at the greatest show on television. 70% of all the people who watch television in the morning watch the Ralph Emery Show.
And it was unrehearsed, unplanned. They just and really, Ralph ran the whole thing.
He had
kind of
total
orchestrated.
control.
Yeah,
total control. So many people still ask about you. I'm proud to say I was always proud of you. I'm sorry I can't attend this evening's festivities. We had a little party. I'm confined to quarters because of carotid surgery on Monday morning. Please pray for me. All the best, Ralph Emery.
Is that not great?
Isn't that great?
It is.
Well,
it is.
Glad to share this with you. I hope everybody enjoyed that.
One that was it Ray? What was
Norm Ray?
Norm Ray. Yeah. He was a saxophone player, wasn't he?
He was just wild as everything. Yeah. He was wild. I don't know where he's passed away. A lot of these people have passed away. Sonny Burnett was the steel guitar player, and that's why I said he never gets up off his seat. He just sits on his steel guitar stool. And then I messed up on some of the words about Kenny Starr and Darlene and Lori. But
that's all right. I noticed it, but did you notice this time I didn't bring it up?
Thank you, everyone.
Segment 76 is in the books. It was fantastic. There's more stories to come. We played for management. Please let us come
Thank you, Channel 4, for letting us air
That's
that.
also correct.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department needs you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. Earlier we spoke on the show with Mr. Justin Scott, the high school band director here in Tullahoma, and now we have some video of the band's performance at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville on the day that they went. First, we're going to show you the Vol Walk, and this is an event that the Tennessee, the Pride of the South, I think is what they call their band over there at UTK. They do this before every home game. They march through campus, all the fans and the students and everybody are there and they get to see it. Our students got to participate in that. We're going to show that to you first, and then we're going to show you the video of their performance in Neyland Stadium that day.
Celebrating 150 years of tradition, the Pride of the Southland Marching Band proudly presents a patriotic salute to America as we open with You're a Grand Old Flag. It's Band Day in Tennessee. Please welcome to Neyland Stadium from Seymour, Tennessee, the Seymour High School Marching Band under the direction of Jacqueline Mezzanetti. Assistant directors Joseph Cole and Sean Copeland. Staff members Jason Franklin, Will Hoover, Jacob Stanberry, and Morgan Tao. The Seymour High School Marching Band. 10th from Tullahoma, Tennessee. Give a big orange welcome to the Tullahoma High School Marching Band. Directors Justin Scott and Lisa Burton, with assistance from Atticus Hensley and Doug Clark. Special staff Tommy Sam, percussion, and Matthew Betting, color guard. The Tullahoma High School Marching Band. Continue our patriotic salute to America with Seymour High School Band Director Jacqueline Messinetti conducting our country's unofficial national hymn, the majestic God Bless America. There's no doubt we love this great country. Every time we see Old Glory waving in the air so freely, it reminds us of all the sacrifice that allows us to live in the land of the free and the home of the brave. Because that flag still stands for freedom, and no one can ever take that away. We close today's halftime show with a classic from the March King. Tullahoma High School Director Justin Scott conducts John Philip Sousa's Stars and Stripes Forever. Ladies and gentlemen, the Seymour High School Band, the Tullahoma High School Band, and your University of Tennessee Pride of the Southland Marching Band.
hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked the tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, you know? They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the paint works at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, we're going to do a little Bonnaroo stuff for you right now. And as always, I write something about just about anything. This is my Bonnaroo Loku. It goes like this: Woodstock, Monterey, Bonnaroo, Itchycoo, Roy and Dale yodeling on the trail. Anytime you get a chance, build a campfire and dance. Let's go to Bonnaroo.
Well, we're here at Bonnaroo 2019, and I'm with Beth Thames with the Tullahoma Arts Center at their booth. And Beth, happy Roo.
Happy Roo. How you doing?
Doing great. How's it been going here?
It's been going great. We've had a lot of support, a lot of people that are interested in supporting local art, a lot of people that are interested in our historic building that we're trying to get donations for, and a lot of people that are participating in our photo op. We're also doing an art drop today is what we're calling it. Yeah. So we've been taking names for donations and drawing 7. We drew 7 out. I'm trying to remember how many. 7 for sure. And they're all coming in and picking up. We have a selection that they can pick from, and they're deciding what piece they want and taking some of our local art out with them.
That's wonderful, and it's people from all over the world basically who are coming to see what the Tullahoma Art Center has to offer.
It's such a melting pot. There's every kind of personality you can imagine, every nationality, every skin color, every gender. Everyone is here. It's amazing and inclusive, and everyone is supportive and acting as a community. It's been a really positive experience this year for 2019 Bonnaroo.
That is fantastic, fantastic. And donations are coming in. People are leaving a little bit for us.
And there's actually been a lot of interest in our historic building and the history of what we have going on in Tullahoma and the Art Center and the Baylit House in general. And it's just been really fun sharing that and talking with people about it.
And, of course, I believe the Scream and Bob Ross are around here as well. That's going
Scream is right behind us. It's the one that has the orange and the dark color background. Munch is who originally painted the Scream, so this is our rendition. Joyce Need from the Knowledge Nook and the Purple Chameleon in Tullahoma, she's a local artist, and her crew, they helped us with this. And then the Turners, Trenton and Samantha, who are from the Art Center, did the sketching, and then we had it professionally framed out as well.
And I know a lot of people have been enjoying that, getting some photo ops and all of that. So yeah.
Fun. And
oh, and American Gothic right over here.
American Gothic here too. And look, there's Bob Ross.
Oh my gosh, there's Bob Ross as we speak. Yeah.
Hello, Bob.
Well, Beth, thank you so much. And and I know you're having a great Roo, as all of us are, and glad to let everybody around the world know that the Tullahoma Art Center's around.
We're here. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Happy Roo.
And we're here at Bonnaroo, and I'm speaking with the good people of Good People Brewing out of Birmingham, Alabama. And this is Steph with the Good People Brewing. How's it going, man?
It's going well. Happy Roo.
Happy Roo to you. Now, how long have you guys been involved with Bonnaroo and coming out?
So I'd say we've probably been involved with Bonnaroo and the Brewers Fest for about 6 or 7 years. This is my 3rd year participating. We have a bunch of new people where it's their first year coming, but Bonnaroo's a great festival in the South. We're a Southern brand and a Southern brewery, so it makes a lot of sense to come here and meet people from our state of Alabama, but also meet a bunch of other people from surrounding states and share beer with them, share music and arts and all the good stuff that Bonnaroo has to offer.
And I love your, now let me see if I get it right. It's great beer for good people, is that right?
So it's be good people, drink great beer, but we like that slogan too.
That is fantastic. That's great. And I was just chatting with you earlier. You've even got a chance to catch out some shows and everything when you're not working and everything. So how's it been so far compared to the other years?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, every year there's something different. We try to bring the same beers. This year we've brought 2 different styles, a citrus wheat and a grapefruit session IPA. In the past we've brought our coffee oatmeal stout and our IPA, which are basically 2 flagship brands. But yeah, I mean, the festival just gets better, the people get nicer, and it's just great for our brand to come out here and celebrate with everybody.
Well, fantastic. And folks, if you haven't tried it, you're missing out. Your IPA especially, I'm a big fan of that as well.
Appreciate that. And anybody that is in the Birmingham area, it's really not that far from Bonnaroo. Come by and see us. We got a brewery downtown, right across the street from Minor League Baseball Stadium, and we'd love to see you at the Good People Tap Room in Birmingham.
All right. Well, Steph.
Yeah, great to meet you.
Great to meet you. Happy Roo, and thanks for chatting with us, man.
See ya.
I ain't got nobody hanging around my doorstep. Ain't got no loose change, just to hang around my jeans. If you see somebody, would you send them over my way? I could use some help here with a can of pork and beans. I was at a family, but they up and left me with nothing but an 8-track, another side of George Jones. I was in high cotton, banging on my 6th string, kicking at the trash can, walking skin and bone. I could see your back porch if I close my eyes now. I can hear the train tracks through the laundry on the line. I'm thinking it's your business, and you ain't got the answer. I'm knocking on your screen door in the summertime. Everybody's out there, climbing on the trees now, swinging in the breeze now, just hanging on the vine. I'm dreaming about a sailboat, I don't need a fur coat. Underneath the dashboard, got some sweet potato wine. I can see your back porch, if I close my eyes now. I can hear the train tracks through the laundry on the line. I'm thinking it's your business, you ain't got the answer. I'm knocking on your screen door in the summertime. I'm knocking on your screen door in the summertime.
Reach out with my hand to these sidewalk crowds. All of these faces who can't sit with me. Just wanna go home to my river winds breeze. Love me tender like what keeps you out.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no. This warrior will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this episode of Melodies Wrapped Around Life. Again, I'm John Gray, and we have a great guest for you today. This young lady, Nellen Dryden, came all the way from New York City and found her way to Tullahoma, Tennessee, and wrote a song about Tullahoma, Tennessee, and we're going to visit with her in a little bit. But first, we're going to go over to the next set and have Nellen do a couple of tunes for us.
Some man asked me what I was looking for. Just a sunset on a city. I want to think about how to make money. There's a place I know and it's nice, they say. Oh, and they dance and they dance and they dance like they just got paid. Oh, Tullahoma, here I come. Tullahoma, get me some. Tullahoma, don't you follow me. Tullahoma, I just wanna be free.
you. All right, that tune was called Tullahoma. This is my first time in Tullahoma, and it's pretty special. This next tune is called Elusive.
You go out of your way, you go far out away, just to get high on that empty day. It don't have to be real, long as you can dream, you can feel. 'Cause you're elusive, baby. You got a fantasy wrapped up in heartache. You can't disappear. One memory is all that it takes. 'Cause you're elusive.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked the tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel that the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, you know? They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the Paint Works at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I've got with me Nellen Dryden, and thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. This is such a treat.
And I just want to understand
Yeah.
how a lovely young lady from New York City ends up in Tullahoma, Tennessee.
I don't know. We're here figuring that out. I moved to Nashville about 4 years ago, and I just wanted to, write songs and sing and perform. And I wrote a song that I just played, Tullahoma, about 2 years ago, and I really wrote it when I was just driving a lot, because in New York City you don't drive.
Right.
And then I moved to Tennessee. I'm driving all the time.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind, actually,
Well,
being in the car.
The landscape is nice.
It's
beautiful.
really nice.
Yeah.
And it's great for, I think, songwriters, because you can clear your head.
Oh, sure.
And I listen to a lot of NPR, and I always hear the announcement at the end of the different stations it's broadcast to, and Tullahoma is one of those. And so I would just hear over and over again, 90.3 Nashville, 90, I don't know what it is, Tullahoma, Tennessee. And I was always like, that is such a cool name. Tullahoma, so then it just stayed in my brain.
Sort of slides off the tongue real easily.
So great.
It's musical.
It's totally musical.
Yeah.
And as a songwriter, just like words that are musical, you're like, I can do anything with this.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
I don't even have to. I don't even have to go to Tullahoma. I don't have to be from Tullahoma. I can just write a song about it.
Tullahoma. That's right. That's right. So,
yeah.
So you came from New York to Nashville.
Yes.
Single girl?
No.
Or married?
I am with someone. Yeah.
You're with someone.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Did that happen once you got here? Did this person? I mean, I don't want to be in your business,
yes,
but
it's okay.
But two people, one person picking up and leaving somewhere to come somewhere else.
No, we came together.
Is difficult, you know, to find each other. Unless you're in the same business or own your own business, to find work.
Oh, I can't imagine. It's definitely easier to move somewhere with somebody.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, good.
Got your support
Good.
network.
Yeah, support is a very good thing to have.
Yeah.
What do you is singing and writing? Is that all you do? If it is, you're a lucky individual.
I mean, I don't know.
Most of us don't get to do just that.
No, I don't do just that. I want to.
Yeah, well,
but
sure.
Yeah, no, I have day jobs.
Okay.
They're not my passion, but I'm good at customer service, and I'm good at typing and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, with a face like that, of course you're good at customer service. It's all about the sale.
It's all about the sale. Yeah.
Sooner or later, I don't care if you're a doctor, a preacher, I don't care what you are.
You got to be good with people.
It's about the sale.
Yep.
And so how is your music career coming along? Are you playing out a lot? Do you have shows that you go to, places you play?
I have not. I haven't played the Bluebird. You mentioned that earlier. But I do play a lot of. I play more full band, so it's a little bit more like rock venues and bars in East Nashville and in Nashville.
Douglas Corner, places like that.
Oh, I love Douglas Corner.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite spots. Yeah,
and
I do some
Basement
writers' room.
and some of those other places.
Yep, the Basement, the 5 Spot.
I've heard. I haven't since Nashville has exploded.
It's exploded.
It's so difficult to get around and park and stuff like that. You've got to be a young person. It makes old people mad.
Impatient. I mean, I don't like it either.
I've heard the 5 Spot a lot, but I don't know the 5 Spot. Where is that?
That's in East Nashville, and that's like a really great. It's like a dive bar, but it's really got a lot of musicians that play there and a lot of that go there.
Right.
It's like a musician's hang.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Which is great.
Sure.
You
need a drummer or you need a guitar player.
Exactly.
I mean, everybody. The one thing we know about musicians and singers is you've got to play and sing.
Yeah,
You've got to. There is no choice.
Well, yeah, what's the point otherwise?
There is no choice. Whether you get paid or don't get paid, you've got to play and sing.
Yep.
Because it's in your DNA, or you wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, and if you're writing, you got to share what you're writing.
Yeah. So are you writing? Are you making writing appointments, or are you write by yourself?
I write by myself.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know that that's unusual in Nashville, but I just kind of it's easier for me that way.
Well, there was a discussion. And it's an ongoing discussion because so many songs have 8 writers on them and 6 writers on them, and I don't know if Jerry House was still on the radio when you came to Nashville.
I don't think so.
On 98. There's a guy, Bobby Bones or somebody's on that station
Bobby Bones I've
now.
heard of.
Yeah. But Jerry House was on radio for years and years and won all kinds of awards, every award that could be won.
Yeah.
And he made a statement about the songs not being as good as they were years ago. And the reason why is he said every great song just about is written by one person.
Oh.
And you say, well, what about McCartney and Lennon?
Yeah.
The response is, if you listen, both of their names are on it, but if you listen, you know whether it's a McCartney song or a Lennon song.
Totally.
Well, and so
to your point, what
you're doing
kind of agree
is
with
a good
you.
thing.
Because one of the reasons I moved down here is because I love Buddy Miller so much. Do you know Buddy Miller?
I don't know Buddy Miller.
He's played guitar with Emmylou Harris.
Yeah,
and he sings background, and his wife Julie Miller is just a really wonderful songwriter. And she writes all of her songs by herself. And I heard him say once that what he doesn't like about all the co-writing and multiple names on songs nowadays is that songs get watered down now, and there's less personality to them.
Yes.
And I totally agree with that.
Yes.
Because if I'm coming in with my own view of something, it's totally going to be me, or like my view, and it's not going to be trying to make it this perfect.
Right. Well, no, what the problem is now also is that they have almost a recipe for this stuff, and it all sounds the same. And if you've got 6 writers, that means there's 6 publishing companies trying to push for a cut.
Yeah.
But what happens there is I find co-writing difficult unless you just happen to find that magic person.
Totally.
And I'm not a very good, I have 3.5 or 4 chords on a good day. And, everybody's songs, Brad Paisley, you can tell a Brad Paisley song in 2 bars. You can tell a Taylor Swift song. Sooner or later, they end up sounding just sort of the same. And so I have a young man that writes melodies with me. And he's a fantastic melody writer. And we get along just perfectly. Other than that, I've been in the room with some real jerks. And it's horrible.
We're sensitive people.
Yes, we are. Yes,
I don't know
are.
how I would be able to handle that. It's a song. It's such a...
Well, it's a story. And our industry right now is not doing a very good job of telling stories.
Yep.
The stories are getting washed out in all of the run-on sentences. And if your English teacher graded that today, the lyrics, the writing of a song today that just starts and never stops until the bottom, you'd get a D- probably because of a run-on sentence. And that's what it all is. And we're losing the story, so don't you ever lose the story, young lady.
Thank you.
Because sooner or later,
I'm trying to preserve.
I listen to WSM-AM because that's where most of the stuff is. Eddie Stubbs, that's where the Grand Ole Opry is.
Yep.
Coffee Cody and those guys in the morning, because that's where that's where I'll hear you first, probably
Let's
is
call
somewhere.
him up and get me on there.
Somewhere right there. Hey,
let's
we'll give you something when you leave here that you'll be able to send them.
Hopefully.
Okay. Well, I'm just happy for you.
Thank you.
And I hope everything continues to get better for you.
Thank you.
And what we're going to do is we're going to bring you back.
Yes.
We're going to in a little bit, or take you to back to the other set, and let you do some more songs.
Okay.
And then we'll hopefully talk again maybe for a second after that. Okay.
Sounds great. Thanks, John.
Nellen Dryden.
All right, we've got some great memories from this past year.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Not a bad year.
Time goes by in a hurry sometimes.
It really, well, particularly the older you get, and all I can say is I hope you enjoyed looking back at some of the things that P-Head Productions has brought you over the past year to help in your getting around town and local information to where you know what's going on, and hope we can be here for another, I don't know if we can make another 27 years.
Somehow I don't think we'll be making it another 27
but we
years.
will make another 7,
maybe somebody
maybe.
will carry on the tradition on our behalf.
That's kind of sad to think about, isn't it?
Nah.
Yeah, let's don't even
We're not
think
going to do
about
that.
it. Yeah, let's don't even think about it.
But from all of us to all of you, Happy New Year!